We'll be celebrating the Lunar New Year very soon, and I want to sketch the decoration at the beginning of Chinatown. This is the tiger statue. Let's go. I did miss the Urban Sketchers Singapore's event. It was brought forward by a week and I missed it completely. I had something else to do that morning regardless, and so here I am taking some time off to sketch this tiger decoration by myself. Bit lonely but I guess in COVID time it's not a bad thing at all. In Singapore at least, the Urban Sketcher group has covered this decoration tremendously. You can see it in a lot of the sketches on the Facebook site. But regardless, I wanted to do it, and since I've been doing it for a few years now, I want to continue to do it. Maybe I can do a cycle of 12 animals, the full 12 animals that makes up the whole rotation of Chinese zodiac. The space that I was seated is actually extremely uncomfortable. I found a little space between the road and the building, and because it's shaded, so I was trying to hide from the sun. However, it is a very tiny space. You can see lots of traffic is going by on my right, and I can barely see the decoration because it is quite far away. But anyway, it was quite a comfortable 15 minutes sketched. I decided not to color it. I'll probably bring it home and color it, and just to save myself some uncomfortable painting situation. I try not to fight it. Anyway, the heat was getting to me. There were ants on the floor and they were crawling up, and even though I have insect repellent, it's still, very uncomfortable. Again, big picture first, and drawing in the detail once you have drawn the full outline. In this case, the outline wasn't that hard. It was just a simple triangle design. There's lots of little things that I've ignored, the lampposts, some of the buildings at the back, on the side, the decorations, and so on and so forth. I'm just focusing on the main decoration with some figures walking, passing from one end of the road to the other. This is a very busy street because it is the beginning of Chinatown, and lots of shoppings going on, especially if you are into dry meat, bak kwa. That's really popular in Singapore. Long queues are forming already, even as we are getting closer to Chinese New Year. Here's a sketch of last year's ox. If you have not seen it, I'll put a link right up on the top corner. This year I'm a little lazy, so I'm gonna go in with an ink and washed. Probably a different recipe. Last year was more like a watercolor painting. On a slightly bigger format as well. This is just an A5 sketchbook, which I carry in my bag, which happens to be convenient, I suppose, and I kind of like it too. This is not too bad. But anyway, back to the sketch. All the details are going in, tiger stripes and all, and ignoring all the background and all the other buildings. More figures, I suppose, are needed to make it more festive. You can definitely see there are more people on the street now. Despite COVID, numbers are going up, but that's Omicron. The hospitalization is not so bad. I'm not the expert, so anyway, I do think that we are in a slightly better situation than last year. So almost done putting the dates, and I think we'll go back home and put in the colors. So in my mind, I'm thinking orange, because tigers are orange. And I'm going to put in some blues just to complement it. Decide to wet down the background in order to create a soft and diffused background to make it to make the decoration pop, if you like. So then I propped up the sketchbook at an angle to allow gravity to do its work, having the pigment to flow down. In other words, I mixed some green, some yellow, some red, orange, throw into the bag. I'm trying to make it as neutral as I can, and not to fuss too much over it. Obviously there will be some sharp edges around the decorations, but hopefully the other edges away from the decorations, they will be soft and diffused. It's the easiest way I know in creating distance. In other words, creating space between your subject, the decorations, and the background. There's a whole bunch of stuff at the back, but I really don't want any attention, my audience eyes towards those unnecessary details. They are not part of the story. The story is about the tigers and about people walking around doing their shopping for Lunar New Year. So ignoring everything else, essentially. Although from a reportage perspective, in other words, urban sketching, philosophy, you want to capture the context and so on and so forth. But I do think that there is a need to isolate the subject and enough background, enough of objects to tell your story. I do think that people know that this decoration is in Chinatown, Singapore. If you have lived here, you will see it, so you will know it. And there's no need to state more than necessary. In other words, I don't really want to put in the other buildings behind it, although they could be one way of telling your story, but to me, they are redundant and it doesn't tell my story. So yeah, I hope that by diffusing the background, I can put more attention to the foreground. In this case, the decorations, the tiger and the water. It is actually water tiger year. As you know, there is a combination of the elements against the 12 animals. The Chinese elements are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Those are the 5 elements. And the 12 animals, they are rat, ox, tiger, next would be rabbit, then dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. So those are the 12. At this point, I'm still pretty much thinking structure, texture. If you've not seen that video, I'll put a link right here. Anyway, it's an ink and wash. I'm not gonna fuss too much over it. Some separation. There are some red on the floor. Just give an indication. I'm mixing the bright yellow, and that should just cover the golden coins and some of the decoration elements. As you can see, they are going in, and I intend to mix some other colors into it as well, making sure that it is not a boring single color sort of a sketch. I really think that a sketch as simple as this could be executed in about, let's say, 45 minutes, top probably 30 minutes. And I think even the lines are simplistic or simple. They're not that hard. So I hope for those of you who are not living in Singapore, you will try it. I will leave a link to this photograph. I'll put it on Pexel, which means that you have copyrights. You can pretty much do with the sketch whatever you want with it. You can sell it, you can do whatever it is, and hopefully you will attempt this sketch yourself. So you can see some of the three-dimensional forms beginning to take shape. I'm putting a bit of darker tone for carving the decoration, making it look more three-dimensional. And because it's such a small sketch, I've been using this number 4 Escoda sable, and pretty much that carries through the entire sketch. I didn't even bother to change. The size of the brush. I'm going in and using my imagination, putting in all sorts of colorful primary colors for the figures: yellow, red, green, blue. Pretty much colorful, symbolizing the upcoming Lunar New Year. Alright, I think I'm going to go in a bit darker soon. Continue to create three-dimensional sense by putting in some darker shadows, if you like. And as you can see, I'm not really painting the whole tiger orange, right? Because in the photograph, you will also notice that there's a lot of bluish tone, if you like. There you go, the secondary orange colors that I'm putting in, just to give an indication of complex colors. Our eyes can actually see many shades, even when the decoration has painted the coin with yellow. there's shades, and there's a shadow part, and to making it more three-dimensional. Splattering, one of my favorite technique, just to give it a bit of texture. Continue to create, sculpt what I think is three-dimensional sense to the decoration. So anyway, that's more or less my sketch. I hope you enjoyed this sort of simple sketch of Singapore Chinatown. I will be doing a vlog along with this video, which basically talk about what's happening with Chinatown. I'm walking around with my camera in the evening, in the morning, and even at night. I made a few trips up and down, and hope you enjoy that as well, although that will not have any sketching in it. Okay, again, I'm not going to fuss too much about this sketch. I think this is more or less it. Maybe just going a bit with red, a bit of touch up here and there, and I probably would do a bit of a white over on it. Sign my name first, and maybe put in my Chinese seal as well. Whee Teck, that's my Chinese name. Yep, kind of cheat a little bit using a rubber seal rather than a traditional carved stone seal. Anyway, I saw some missing stripes of the tiger, so I went in to put in with my fountain pen. Again, this is one of the tips. You don't really have to finish with the drawing. You can always draw over your watercolor as well. If you think there are missing parts, what's wrong with going in and touching it up? Sometimes if you use opaque colors, they might also cover up your fountain pen lines, which means you can always go back over it. Now I'm going in with my white gel pen, just putting in some of the little white, maybe getting back some of the lost paper white, and I think I'm done. So I hope you enjoyed this. Very simple, ink and washed. I hope you try it as well, with a link of the photograph in the description below. I hope you stay safe wherever you are. Goodbye, this is Whee Teck, out for now.